Folks, I've got some breaking news that you won't hear anywhere else. What we witnessed today in the morning, watching the Epstein survivors and a former bipartisan group of lawmakers who have been leading the charge on the discharge petition to force a vote and finally get these files released. While they've been standing up in the public, telling their stories, doing the hard work in broad daylight, I've been on the phone day and night with my sources, and what they're telling me behind the scenes paints a very different picture. But before we go any further, I need you to do me a big favor. I need you to hit the subscribe, smash the like button, and turn on the notification bell. Because news like this, stories like this need to be pushed out to more people instead of being buried. All right, let's jump right into it then. You've heard me say over and over again, watch what they do and not what they say. And that's right, because let me start off by being very blunt and very clear. Donald Trump does not need anybody's permission. He doesn't need a vote. He doesn't need a committee. He doesn't need a resolution or a speech or a joint statement. If Donald Trump really wanted to release the Epstein files,
Sir, if there's something incriminating in the file, sir, why not act?
Quiet.
Donald Trump would just sign an order today and every agency under him would snap to attention. But this is not a man who loves process. This is not a man who wants to wait to see what Congress does. You've watched him over the years. He ignores the rules when they don't work for him. And you gotta understand, I've watched him up close. So when you hear him suddenly do 180 degrees and suddenly say, release the Epstein files, I have nothing to hide, I need you to understand this. Those words are fake because they're all performance for the camera. Because the question is not what he is saying. The question is, what is he doing? So let me break it down what's actually being done behind the scenes. Trump just installed his longtime loyalist Jay Clayton as U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, the same office that charged Epstein and still holds a ton of evidence of potential co-conspirators. Now they're selling this as some big news, serious Epstein investigation, but if you read the fine print, their focus is very clear. They're not aimed at Trump. They're not aimed at the Republican donors network that float around Epstein. They're not aimed at the billionaire friends or the foreign money. Folks, they're aimed at Democrats, Clintons. They're aimed at the Trump's political enemies. So you ask, who is Jay Clayton? Well, let me tell you, Trump made him the SEC chair in 2017. In 2020, Trump and Bill Barr tried to shove Clayton into the same office SDNY job while Epstein was fresh and Rudy Giuliani and yes, yours truly were under active investigation. That move blew up because Jeffrey Berman refused to go quietly. And you know what happened after that? Clayton goes to Apollo Global Management, the firm co-founded by Liam Black, the billionaire who paid Epstein well over $150 million. Later had to settle with the U.S. Virgin Islands over $60 million Epstein-related claims. Clayton was brought in as part of the Apollo cleanup after the Epstein money trail exploded. Now he's been brought in again, this time as Trump's cleanup guy, sitting right on top of anything and everything that touches Epstein and SDNY. This is not random, folks. This is a fixer behavior. Now here's the part almost nobody's saying out loud. We already know about Trump and the Republican donor scrubbing. That's been the DOJ official caught on hidden camera bragging about how Republicans would be redacted and the Democrats left exposed. But that's not where it ends. Where my sources are telling me is that Trump's main concern isn't just how do we keep a few GOP billionaires from looking bad. It's not even mainly about hiding his nasty predatory behavior, the stuff we already know, the Access Hollywood tape, the sexual assault verdict, that bragging. Trump knows how to ride out being called a creep because he's been doing it for years. What really scares him is the Epstein material that could show the overlap between Epstein's network, Trump's network, and the Russian network that has leverage over Trump for decades. Because what my sources are telling me that the real scrubbing, the deep scrubbing is about any document that shows shared intermediaries, the same fixers, banks, or shell companies you see Trump Russia stories showing up in the Epstein adjacent material. Any paper trail that ties travel, meetings, or money from Epstein's world into the same channels that run back to the Kremlin-linked money. Anything that helps explain why Donald Trump always bows down to Vladimir Putin, attacks NATO, undercuts Ukraine, and parrots Kremlin talking points over his own intelligence community. That's not embarrassment, folks. That's about compromise. Trump's biggest fear is not losing donors or losing his base because he'll burn the donors. He'll betray his base. He's done it over and over before. His biggest fear is the world seeing the full picture of what Putin has on him and how many different operations, including Epstein's, intersect with the same leverage. So that's why they don't want you to see this in these files. And here's why you're hearing this here on YouTube and not on some sanitized panel or cable network. Because most of these people don't know Trump. They've never been even in the same room with him. They don't know his fixers. They don't know the donors. The difference is I do. I was inside that world. I helped build that machine, and now I'm taking it apart piece buy peace, folks. And if you want more of this, if you want real talk about what's happening behind the curtain, here's what I need you to do. I need you to subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next time I break something like this. I need you to smash the like button and leave a comment. That's how we beat the algorithm and get in front of more people. And if you're able, I need you to go to my GoFundMe link in the description below to support this mission. The GoFundMe keeps this work independent. It helps me build a small investigative team, cover travel, security, and most importantly, keep exposing the people who would love to silence me. I need you to remember I was part of the machine that protected Trump, and now I'm here to expose it. So stay with me. Hit subscribe, share this video, check the GoFundMe below if you can. And I promise you one thing, I'm going to keep bringing you what they're still trying to scrub about Epstein, about Trump, about why Donald Trump always bows down to Vladimir Putin. This is Lev Remembers.